So everyone's been talking about this amazing Netflix show. Everyone's buzzing about it. Stranger Things. And I decided to check that show out. It's a really good show, and I was watching a little bit of it. I watched about 2 or 3 episodes, and I was going to watch a little bit more last night. When I logged into Netflix, I saw the banner Bojack Horseman season 3 now up, and I'm like, okay, I gotta watch Bojack. I'll just watch 1 or 2 episodes. Here I am the next day, and I've watched all the episodes. I binged it. You just can't. Once you get into BoJack, you can't just do 1 or 2 episodes. It really gets a hook in you because it is one of those shows. It is one of those binge-worthy shows that it's easy to get caught up in it because one, it's really only like a 22-minute program, and there's only 12 episodes, and there's an arc that connects and connects and connects. So I had to see more, and this continues the arc of what was set up for the first 2 seasons. Basically, everyone's favorite malcontent, washed-up celebrity horse, voiced by Will Arnett, is back in full form. This time his career is going actually very well. If you recall from the last season, he starred in a huge movie for his career, Secretariat, the true story of Secretariat, and of course there's some controversy around that because his performance was deemed unsuitable by the studio, and they altered it digitally to make him actually good, and now he's in contention to be nominated for an Oscar, and that's kind of what the whole season here revolves around, in him kind of playing the Hollywood game and celebrity schmoozing and things like that, but of course still his relationships with the people around him. His roommate, voiced by Aaron Paul, who's always really great and really funny. He's like kind of the glue that holds the show together, I think, and his friend Diane, voiced by Allison Brie, Mr. Peanut Butter, voiced by Paul F. Tompkins, and his agent, Princess Kitty, whatever, Princess Caroline, the cat, and all that kind of stuff. And definitely, it is a season that has the big arc, and you kind of have to keep watching, find out what's going to happen next. And this season, I'll say it did take a little bit, though I guess so did the other seasons. It took a little bit to really start gaining some momentum and gaining steam and stuff like that. The first few episodes just kind of set everything up, and I think once the last half season, or the half part of the season hits, I think it gets really, really good and really, really funny, and all kinds of revelations. So it's one of those shows where it's really funny, really cleverly written, and it does pack the emotional punch. And again, I probably mentioned this in my other reviews, but you're just so shocked by how emotionally invested you get in this kind of silly cartoon about this anthropomorphic horse blended with real humans and other animals and Hollywood and this weird, weird kind of atmosphere that it creates. But it works so well. And I did find myself once again invested in BoJack Horseman, though it took a little bit longer this time. Like I'll say, there are a lot of good episodes in this season, but there's one that I think is gonna end up being like when we all look back at it, the grand history of BoJack. It's probably gonna be one of those controversial episodes where people will either say it sucks or that it's like secretly brilliant or whatever. And that episode, I think it's the third or fourth episode. It's called Fish Out of Water. It's where BoJack goes into like an underwater city that I guess is supposed to be kind of representative of like a foreign country. Like instead of like going to Tokyo or whatever, he goes to underwater, and there's no way that he can really communicate with people. But the thing about the episode is it's almost completely free of dialogue. So I don't know. I can see that they're maybe doing something a little bit different with that, but I didn't dig it that much. Like all the silly stuff with him following around a baby seahorse and going into a taffy factory and this weird stuff like that. But I don't know, some people, like I looked on IMDb and you can see the episode guide, and each episode has a rating. That has a really high rating, so I think this is going to be one of those episodes where people say, oh yeah, it's really good, really brilliant. And I'm like, I don't know, this is a show that I watch. The animation's good on this show. The character design is good. It's all really good. But I'm watching it for the sharp dialogue and the clever lines, not the animation, where it tries to get a whole episode with the visual puns and without dialogue, which, a noble effort, but not one of my favorite episodes. But maybe some people disagree with that, I'm sure. I'm sure quite a few people think it's a good episode, but whatever. It has all the same kind of visual pun kind of stuff like that, involving the animals and stuff like that. There's background things, and like in Princess Caroline's office, there's like all these books that have to do with like cat puns like A Tale of Two Kitties, something like that. Romeo and Juliet, and silly stuff like that. So, I mean, that's what you can expect from the show. There's a really good episode that flashes back to 2007, which I thought was funny because, like, for a lot of people, 2007 feels like last Thursday, not so much 9 years ago. So, I mean, there's that, and there's all these 2007 references. Like, there's, again, a background kind of joke about David Hasselhoff's floor burgers, where they have, like, a picture. Like, you remember when there was that video that was released of him on the floor eating burgers drunkenly, and I don't know, that was kind of funny. And like Jerry Seinfeld practicing for Bee Movie, which was like this hyped up movie at the time, and where Jerry Seinfeld was out promoting it dressed as a bee, and the movie is like infamously horrible now, and like people still talk about that movie. Anyway, whatever, getting off the track here. And Jessica Biel, remember when Jessica Biel was a big star? Unbelievable, things like that. And I don't know, there's funny stuff, and it does get to some heavy subject matter. Like, there is a whole episode that revolves around an abortion as well. I won't give any more away than that, but I thought that was a pretty heavy episode that was funny and satirical, but it, did kind of reach some, I don't know, pretty meaningful notes to it. So I appreciate something like that. Again, when a cartoon like this, a silly kind of cartoon, can take you off guard, I think that's good. I think that's a good surprise when something so silly can actually have meaning and depth to it, And I think this is one of those shows. And I do think it's a well-produced show, extremely well-written show, and this is yet another great season of Bojack Horseman. And again, I can't picture anybody but Will Arnett doing the voice. He's so perfect as this self-loathing character. And I do think one of the best episodes is when he goes on a complete bender with one of his old co-stars from the Horsin' Around series from the 90s. And it's just an insanely funny and saddening episode all at the same time. So it's quite incredible. So I really like this season. Again, it keeps up the momentum that the whole series is created. Out of the three, I'd say maybe this is my least favorite season. I like to see the stuff with him down at rock bottom, and instead of like seeing him really succeed. But then there's always going to be kind of the stuff, well, even if I succeed, I'm still a miserable bastard. So there's that. So I can't wait for the fourth season. It left on some stuff that you kind of think, okay, how are they going to take for this? There's some cliffhangers here and there, and there's always room for more. So I guess we begin another year-long wait. So maybe I shouldn't have binged it so carelessly, but it's just one of those shows you have to. So that's my review. Bojack Horseman, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to comment, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. Visit Dare237.com. And until next time, I'll see you later.